How's it going, my friends? My name is Forge and welcome to another add-on showcase. So in today's video we're looking at a Minecraft add-on which is called Iron Dry. This is an add-on created by Kiki Creations and you will find a link in the description. But it's going to turn your world into a barren wasteland and it's going to be your job to try to survive it because this is a very dangerous world. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing as it helps out quite a bit and shows your support for the channel. Thank you. And one of the dangers of this new world is overheating. Overheating is a very dangerous thing. If you end up overheating, then you get the slowness effect. Now for the sake of the video, I did go into the files and I disabled it because it can get very annoying and I just don't like it whatsoever. But you'll find these small cactuses, these small mushrooms, and you'll also find these new trees which are going to be everywhere in your world. These are called ash trees, and it's basically a replacement for oak. So if you're looking for oak inside your world, I'm sorry, but it does not exist, because as you can see right here, it does completely replace oak wood. And the same thing goes to the logs. If you do look throughout the inventory, then you may find a bunch of different blocks in here. There's some blocks that are replacing existing ones, and there's some completely new ones, like the scrap metal. That is a completely new block. But for things like the standard ores, diamond is now called malachite, and lapis is known as tourmaline. Iron, gold, and coal have been retextured. All of your grass in your world have been changed to silt. The dirt is now classed. The stone is now shell. Or if you somehow find the ineffable crystal caves, then you'll find yourself this new stone which is called amphibolite. As far as cave biomes go, this is the only new cave biome. You can still find regular lush caves and regular dripstone caves, but I'm not entirely too sure if the deep dark is over here though. The ineffable crystal caves are made up of a few blocks. You got ineffable blocks, ineffable clusters, and sometimes you may find vines, cave vines, and even spore blossoms. If you break one of these clusters in survival mode, then you get yourself ineffable shards. And if you get 4 of these shards, then you can turn that into a full ineffable block. There's also a new mob that can spawn in this biome, and it's called the Skelung. The Skelung has 40 HP, and if you give it malachite, then it will try to locate malachite ore or even tourmaline ore. I would also like to mention that the Skelung is not friendly. He is a hostile creature that will try to get you. So do try to be very careful with this creature. Now as I explained before, this is the replacement for diamond ore. So anything you make out of diamond normally, it's going to be using malachite instead. Like the armory sets, the tool sets, and there's even a new weapon called the malachite herpa. And as far as the tourmaline ore goes, anything you use lapis for regularly, then that's what tourmaline is going to be used for. But to be honest, this only really includes enchanting, because that's all you really use lapis for anyway. Apart from overheating in your world, there's also another danger to be aware of. Over a course of time, you may find meteors falling from the sky. Now these can be quite rare to come across, so it's... Oh wow, that's perfect timing. We just got ourselves a meteor shower. Wow, we're just talking about meteor showers, and one just occurred right in front of us. That is absolutely crazy. You see, that is the danger. That is the danger of meteor showers. You never know when they're going to happen. Now, there are 3 ways to avoid a meteor shower. 1, you can go underground. 2, you can find shelter above ground. Or 3, you can just get out of the way. Whenever it comes to meteors, they are very unexpected, as you saw earlier, and they can be quite destructive. As far as structures go in your world, I think the only structure that you can find is going to be villages. I'm not too sure if you can find the other structures, so if you're trying to find witch huts or jungle temples, I'm not too sure if those still exist. As far as structures go, I believe that all the vanilla structures can still generate inside the world, because all the current biomes, they still exist, but they just look like a barren wasteland now. If you manage to find a village in your world, do not expect to find villagers or iron golems or even cats, because all of those mobs, they're going to be completely killed off. Whenever you load into a world, and if an iron golem tries to spawn, then they're going to be killed off instantly. But it really does make it feel like you're the only one left in the world. But however, those are not the only 3 mobs that this happens to, because it can also happen to vindicators, pillagers, zombie villagers, drowns, and even zombie horses. So those mobs do not exist at all in your worlds. Now as you go on throughout your barren wasteland, then you may have noticed that there is no animals anywhere. You can't find pigs, cows, sheep, basically any kind of animal that would provide you food you cannot find at all. So this really only leaves you with a few options for food. 1, you can eat raw flesh, which, let's all be honest, Yes, very disgusting. You can also eat vegetables, like beetroots, carrots, potatoes, or even bread, if you're lucky enough to find wheat, that is. But however, that's not all, because the add-on also introduces 2 new food sources. One of the new food sources is called the saguaro, which is a type of cactus that can bear fruit. This new cactus will be found all over your world, so you won't be running out of these anytime soon. And once you find one of these, go ahead and bone meal it, and then you'll get a saguaro with fruit. And now there are 3 stages. The first stage is going to be when it turns orange. Then the final stage is going to be when it turns pink. When it turns pink, that is when you can pick it. And then you get yourself some seeds. Now you won't get yourself fruit every single time. Sometimes you get fruit and sometimes you won't. For that instance, we only got seeds back. But if I interact with this one, this time we get ourselves a few more seeds. But we also got 1 prickly pear. There's also another new food source, which is called the panerba. When you break the panerba, then you get yourselves the pangos. You can also cook the pangos by putting it in a furnace, a smoker, or even a campfire. And then you get yourself a cooked pango. We also got 3 biomes to take a look at. The first biome is called the volcanic biome, which you will find a bunch of magma cubes everywhere, but you'll also find magma blocks scattered around. The top of the biome is going to be made out of tephra. If you decide to dig down, then you'll find volcanic rock. You may also find the structure, which is volcano. The volcanoes are made up of volcanic rock. They have some magma blocks, a little bit of tephra, and if you go inside the volcano, then you'll find a bunch of lava. But also sometimes you may find some blazes spawning in here. There's also the dunes in the Dune Mountains. The Dune Mountains is going to be a very mountainous biome that you will find made out of silt, but there's also the dead trees all over the place. But we also got the regular dune biomes, which is a lot flatter. But relatively, both of these biomes, they both contain the same features. And that's going to be it for everything that the High and Dry add-on has to offer us. Definitely going to make for a really fun challenge if you're somebody that enjoys that kind of stuff. But down below in the comments, go let me know what you think of this add-on. And if you want to get this add-on, then there will be a link in the description. If you guys enjoyed today's video, then please consider leaving a like, subscribe if you're around here, and don't forget to turn on notifications. But for now, I will catch you next time. Goodbye.